To deal with my elders pressuring me to marry, I asked a friend to pose as my girlfriend in the family group chat, but mistakenly added my female boss instead. I explained the situation to her, hoping she would leave the group. She smirked and sent a message in a group. Annie, who young asked you to kick me out of the group? The next second my mom kicked me out of the group chat. Lin Yueshan, dressed in a tailored business suit, had a playful glint in her eyes, her slightly upturned red lips holding an enigmatic smile. See me kicked out of the chat. She showed no remorse. Instead, the smile on her lips deepened. Hoyong, there are red packets in the group. Why aren't you grabbing any? Don't you like them? Your mom asked me to tell you. Since your stomach isn't strong, don't forget to eat breakfast. Oh right, your mom also said she sent some snacks for us. Pick them up later. The big one for me. The small one for you. There was laughter in her eyes. After speaking, she quirked her lips again, her wavy hair dancing lightly with her movement. Seeing my face flushed red with anger from her teasing, she finally seemed satisfied. Her small lips pressed together lightly, lending her an air of composure. Then she left with a sway of her slender hips, leaving only a breezy remark. I'll add you back to the group in a bit. Since then, it seemed she'd gotten addicted to the role. Every morning when I woke up, I'd see photos she posted in the family group chat of her breakfast or her morning run, immediately followed by praise from the elders. She would actively participate whenever there was conversation in the group. Hearing my mom mention poor sleep, she specifically researched online and shared methods for improving sleep. If she saw small trinkets she liked, she would order them directly and have them sent to elders who might need them. Her mannerisms, her attitude. It was as if she were the one related by blood. Sometimes, to save herself trouble, my mom would ask me to receive the packages, and just like that my address was revealed to her. I was curious why Lin Yashin was doing so much, so I asked her while reporting on work. She seemed resigned too. My family is pushing me to get married as well. She said it's only fair. Shouldn't you help me out too? Just pretend to be my boyfriend. I thought she had a point, so I readily agreed. All right then. Just then her gaze drifted to the computer screen, and a flicker of concentration crossed her usually calm eyes. Immediately after, her fingers danced across the keyboard, tapping away rapidly. A moment later, a warm, considerate message appeared in the family group chat. Annie may be soaking your feet and drinking warm milk tonight. Will help you sleep better. If you really can't sleep, feel free to call me for a chat. My mom replied instantly. Thanks. Shin Shun. Not like my son's boss who always looks stern, as if someone owes her money. When Lin Yashin saw this message, her relaxed brow instantly furrowed. A hint of displeasure flashed in her eyes as she turned to me and asked Ho Liang, do you often complain about me to your mother? My heart skipped a beat. Before I could figure out how to respond, my mom fired off another barrage of messages. In the chat, this boss is too strict. Last time, Ho Liang made a small mistake and she tore into him. Didn't give him any face at all. And she's always so aloof. Speaks so coldly and keeps everyone at arm's length. Our Ho Liang must be having such a hard time working under her. I quickly tried to explain. Director Lin, please let me explain. She just gave a faint smile, her eyes calm. I don't hold grudges, but I could clearly detect a subtle hint of anger beneath her seemingly calm gaze. Sure enough, that afternoon, she made me work overtime. The kind you couldn't leave until it was finished. Stuck with overtime I had no idea how to tackle, and having to watch Lin Yashin maintain her perfect girlfriend persona in the group chat. It was incredibly annoying. Driven by a desire for revenge and wanted to mess with her, I posted in the group chat, Shin Shin is divorced with a kid. After sending it, the frustration simmering inside me dissipated. I quickly muted the group chat notifications and got back to work. By the time I finally finished the overtime, I had missed the last subway. Just as I was debating whether to get a taxi or find a shared bike, a car pulled up slowly beside me. The window rolled down, revealing Lin Yushuan's face. She looked at me quietly, her eyes seeming to hold a complex mix of emotions. After a moment, she said flatly, "Get in." I hesitated for a second, but got in anyway. I had just settled in when my mom called, her voice fraught with anxiety. What you said in the group chat, is it true? Is Lin Yueshan really divorced with a child? I quickly explained, Mom, I was joking. Of course it's not true. You scared me. Seeing my chance, I added. And Lin Yueshan isn't really my girlfriend either. What? My mom's voice shot up an octave. Suddenly, Lin Yushun snatched the phone from me. Her voice became soft and gentle. Auntie, it's true I'm not Ho Liang's girlfriend. I'm his fiancée. Lin Yushun saw me downstairs. She tilted her head slightly, looking at me, her tone level, yet carrying a hint of undeniable firmness. You complained about me. I made you work overtime. Or even she paused, her gaze shifting forward. You need someone to pretend to be your girlfriend. And I need someone to pretend to be my boyfriend. We both get what we need. So that makes us even too. All right, then my brain seemed to short circuit, and I blurted out, want to come upstairs. The moment the words left my mouth, I wished I could bite my tongue off. A hint of a smile touched her lips, and her bright eyes flashed with a dangerous glint. Say hit that again. I quickly waved my hands, stammering in nothing. I was just kidding. The next day, I went downstairs as usual, and saw Lin Yuxian sitting in her car from a distance. In her right hand, she held a powder puff, lightly dabbing it onto her face with deft and natural movements, while her left hand gently cupped her chin. Her eyes revealed a uniquely feminine refinement and subtlety. Seeing me approach, she turned her head slightly, the corners of her lips lifting into a faint smile. Get in. Before I had even settled into my seat, her phone rang. She glanced at the screen, her brow furrowing slightly. She answered the call, and a woman's voice, sounding quite upset, came from the other end. Lin Yushun, I'm telling you, if you still haven't found a boyfriend, I'll adopt a few children, so someone can take care of you when you're old. Hearing this, Lin Yushun showed no sign of backing down. She raised an eyebrow, her tone holding a hint of defiance and banter. Adopt or don't, that's up to you. I'll just tell my boyfriend they're my younger brothers. As for whose illegitimate children they end up seeming to be, yours or mine, well, that will depend on our respective attitudes. What kind of attitude is that? The voice on the other end paused abruptly. Wait, you have a boyfriend? Lin Yushun chuckled lightly. The genuine article. The tone on the phone softened slightly. Don't think you can bluff your way through this. A flicker of resignation flashed in her eyes, but she quickly regained her confident and composed demeanor. Feel free to come inspect anytime. Fetching Lin Yushun's takeout, she looked up, a perfect smile gracing her delicate features. Let's eat together. I placed the takeout on her desk, catching a glimpse of the simple, light meal in her container. Are you on a diet? I asked casually. She sighed resignedly. No choice. I've gained quite a bit lately. She gestured toward the takeout in my hands. Yours looks pretty substantial, though. I glanced down at the generous portions of meat and fish in my bowl and grinned without a care. I'm not that fussy. Just then I noticed. Her eyes kept drifting to the chicken wings in my bowl, her lips twitching slightly. The look on her face practically screamed, I want some. I couldn't help but laugh aloud. Picking up a chicken wing, I placed it in her bowl. Here, eat up. She didn't eat it. Instead, she picked up her phone, snapped a picture, and sent it to the group chat with a caption, Lunch with Ho Liang. After a moment, her brow furrowed slightly, a hint of confusion in her eyes. How come no one's replying in the group? You're his fiancé, I explained casually, but you're eating practically miles apart. Even sworn enemies wouldn't keep that much distance. She seemed amused by my words, a smile playing on her lips. Then, seemingly casually, she took my hand and placed it next to hers, beside the takeout containers, murmuring to herself, that's better. After taking the photo, she suddenly seemed to realize what she'd done and quickly withdrew her hand. But I felt as though her warmth still lingered, where her hand had held mine. Our eyes met unintentionally. In that instant, I caught a flicker of panic in hers, and my own heart inexplicably skipped a beat. A strange feeling began to quietly bloom between us. As I was clearing away the takeout containers, she stared at her screen, looking nervous. Annie added me on WeChat. I looked up at her. Her usually pale cheeks were faintly flushed, a hint of unease in her eyes, as her fingers unconsciously fiddled with the documents on her desk. I smiled reassuringly. I guess she's just bored and wants someone to chat with. Don't overthink it. Returning to my desk from the office, a colleague leaned in with a smirk. Hey buddy, got something going on with Manager Lin. Hearing this, I immediately sat bolt upright, my tone utterly proper. Don't jump to conclusions. We just shared some takeout. That's all. There's no story. The next second, I received a 10,000 transfer from Lin Yuxian. My colleague's eyes widened, pointing at the screen as if horrified. K kept. flustered and angry. I warned my colleague not to talk nonsense. Then I want to find Lin Usgn to get things straight. Before I could even speak, she said, as if knowing exactly what I was going to ask. That money is from your mom. Hearing this, I shook my head vehemently. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. My mom's so cheap. She wouldn't even replace socks with holes in them. Give you 10,000. She sighed resignedly. She said it was a first meeting gift. I felt awkward accepting it, but also awkward refusing. So I just accepted it and transferred it to you. All right then. I'll be leaving now, Manager Lin. Wait. She rubbed her temples wearily. Her gaze filled with resignation as she looked at me. My mom has come to check up. To deal with her mother's inspection. Lin Yuxian made me move all my belongings to her place. Somewhat bewildered, I cautiously looked at her. How long do I have to stay here? She put her hands on her hips. Chin slightly raised, a hint of slyness in her eyes. Until my mom believes it. And just like that, the two of us started living together. She didn't lay down any cohabitation rules or make demands. Instead, she consistently looked out for me. When I got up in the morning, breakfast was ready. In the evening, she cooked, and I did the washing up. This unspoken understanding gave me the feeling that maybe getting married wouldn't be so bad after all. Only occasionally, I'd see her walking around the living room in a black lace nightgown, her figure underneath subtly revealed. My imagination had to fill in the rest. One time I got caught staring. She actually walked towards me with a smile, tilted her head and asked, "Does it look good?" I immediately felt my face flush hot. Embarrassed, I turned my head away and stammered, "It looks good." But she wouldn't let it go, leaning closer and blinking playfully. "What part looks good?" I stole a glance at her, trying to shrink into myself as if bracing for storm. "All of it looks good." The corners of her mouth were still upturned, her tone soft and gentle. But this time, her words made me break out in a cold sweat. "Look again, and I'll poke your eyes out." Lin Ma came to check. As soon as she entered, she started looking around, her gaze sharp as if scrutinizing something. Then she brazenly took over my guest room, giving the reason. "You're already living together, but not sleeping in the same bed. Something fishy is going on." Holding my pillow and blanket, I stood at Lin Yuzhuan's bedroom door. We just stared at each other. It was obvious she was quite resigned too, so her tone naturally wasn't friendly. "Get in here." "What are you doing?" Standing there like some pregnant woman. I went in, made the bed and suggested we don't have work tomorrow. "How about we drink all night?" Her eyes instantly lit up, and she gave a thumbs up. "Brilliant, I'll order takeout." Unexpectedly, Lin Yushun was quite the drinker, downing glass after glass without batting an eyelid. We drank glass after glass, getting so carried away. We almost swore an oath of brotherhood. It was Lin Yashin who retained a sliver of reason. Brothers who work at the same company always end up going their separate ways. I admired her foresight and downed another glass. I don't know how late we talked. Only remember discussing dreams, family first loves, and old flames, and even embarrassing things we'd done. Finally, we drank until we were dead tired, and somehow just fell asleep. When I woke up again, the scene before my eyes instantly sobered me up somewhat. Lin Yushan's sleeping posture was rather unrestrained, her hair messily splayed on the pillow, her pajamas slightly wrinkled. Half of her body was lying on top of mine. I subconsciously tried to move her arm and leg off me. Just as I lifted my arm, she woke up abruptly. Then a scream shattered the silence, and she reflexively kicked me hard in the chest. I was not clean off the bed. Lin Ma heard the commotion and rushed in, pushing the door open. "What's going on?" I awkwardly scrambled up from the floor, my mind racing, and pointed at Lin Yuxian. She had a nightmare. As time went on, I discovered Lin Yushin had a stark contrast. At work, she presented as a resolute, sharp-minded, and confident queen. In her personal life, she was more like a warm-hearted, life-loving girl next door. Whether her blueberry plants were sprouting leaves or blooming, she would exclaim and call me over to look, her face radiating irrepressible happiness. Come the weekend, to prove we were a real couple, we intentionally stayed in. She swept the floor. I mopped. I cooked. She helped in the kitchen. We worked together seamlessly. While I watched TV on the sofa, she would lean against me. But the faint, fresh scent of jasmine slowly eroded my resolve. Despite all this, Mother Lin remained suspicious, sitting nearby, her gaze shifting between us, scrutinizing. "I've been watching closely. You know you're already living together, but haven't even kissed." How could you possibly be a real couple? Hearing this, Lin Yueshan blushed instantly and hurriedly tried to explain to her mother. The mother and daughter went back and forth for quite some time, while I sat awkwardly nearby, unsure what to say. In the end, left with no other choice, and under her mother's watchful gaze, Lin Yashin and I, like two bashful teenagers, slowly leaned towards each other and shared a quick, light kiss. Her lips were so soft, and they trembled slightly. My heartbeat abruptly quickened, and I felt an overwhelming urge to protect her. Fortunately, Mother Lin was finally convinced. As she was leaving, she gave me 10,000, saying this is a greeting gift. Refusing it means you don't intend to marry my Shin. After seeing Mother Lin off, Lin Yushin immediately turned around and pointed a finger at my nose. Although her tone was gentle, it carried a clear warning. If you dare tell our colleagues about this matter, you're dead meat. I knew she meant the kiss, but I played dumb. What matter? She looked ready to flare up, but then she realized. Putting her hands behind her back, she let out a soft and walked away, leaving the faint scent of jasmine lingering in the living room. Although I hadn't said anything, based on signs like commuting together and eating lunch together, our colleagues were all speculating about my relationship with Lin Yuxian. For a company team building event, an escape room was organized. We were divided into pairs, and due to everyone's tacit understanding or isolation, Lin Yashin and I naturally ended up on the same team. Based on difficulty and completion time, the first prize was a 5,000 yuan travel fund. When we stepped into the escape room, dim lighting and eerie sound effects instantly created a terrifying atmosphere. Cold air brushed against the skin, bringing a faint chill. Lin Yuexiang was so scared, she gripped my arm tightly. I gently patted her hand to comfort her. Don't be afraid, I'm here. A worn-out doll stood on shrine. As we approached, it suddenly let out a blood-curdling laugh, and faint drifting human figures appeared on the surrounding walls. Ah! Lin Yushin screamed in fright, throwing herself straight into my arms, like a startled rabbit. At that moment, my heart skipped a beat. A feeling I'd never experienced before surged through me, as if time itself had stopped. Once Lin Yashin had calmed down a bit, she scrambled out of my arms, stole a glance at me, and said casually, as if nothing had happened, if we don't find clues soon, we won't get first place. Perhaps because I usually enjoy watching thrillers and mystery films, I had accumulated quite a bit of experience and skill. During the clue-finding process, I gradually got the hang of it, and quickly solved one puzzle after another. Lin Yuxian watched me, her eyes filled with admiration and surprise, sparkling with excitement. Just as we were about to complete the task, a huge crystal came into view. Lin Yushan's gaze was instantly captivated. She couldn't help but reach out and take the crystal down. I had just noticed her movement and was about to warn her of potential danger, but it was too late. In an instant, the ground began to shake violently. Before we could react, an NPC suddenly dropped straight down from the ceiling, hanging like a ghost. Startled by this sudden event, Lin Yueshan screamed again and instinctively leaped upwards, landing right on me. Into confusion, I subconsciously caught her in a princess carry. The NPC gave a meaningful smile and climbed back up to the ceiling. Lin Yueshan's face turned bright red from nervousness and embarrassment. She was panting slightly, her eyes still holding a mixture of fear and excitement. Before leaving, she didn't forget to remind me, "You're not allowed to tell our colleagues." Only this time her tone sounded more coquettish. To my surprise, my mom came to see me without any notice. She went to my old rented place, found no one there, and called me furious. Only then finding out I had moved. The moment she walked in, she immediately noticed the pair of women's slippers by the door, and her expression instantly darkened. She didn't say anything, just walked around the entire place again and again. Then she suddenly turned her head, staring sharply at me. "Were you living with?" My nerves were stretched taut. My mind went blank, and I stammered, "A friend, just a friend." Without another word, my mom grabbed the nearby broom and started chasing me, hitting me. "Couldn't you learn something better? Playing around with infidelity. Seems like I didn't beat you enough when you were young." Right in the middle of the beating, Lin Yueshan came back. When she saw the scene inside, she was stunned for a moment, then quickly understood the situation. With a smile on her face, she explained to my mom, "Auntie, please don't be angry. I was the one who asked Li Yong to move in with me. Not informing you beforehand was thoughtless of me. Seeing it was Lin Yuxian, my mom's attitude did a complete 180-degree turn. She started fussing over her, asking all sorts of questions solicitously, leaving me her actual dear son aside, as if Lin Yuxian were her biological daughter. This time my mom commandeered the guest room, saying under the pretext since you're already fiancé, you must be sleeping in the same bed, so I'll sleep in the guest room. That evening, Lin Wuxian and I started drinking again. This time, she got sleepy after 2 bottles. We were forced to sleep in the same bed. She used the duvet to draw a dividing line between us, taking 70% of the bed while I got 30. She liked to sleep with her legs curled up, like a hedgehog curled into a ball. I was curious if one slept better in this position. She explained, it makes it easier to kick me off the bed with one foot. I took out my phone, looked it up online, and found out that this sleeping posture is a sign of insecurity. At that moment, a surge of male protectiveness washed over me, and I felt an urge to cherish her. I gently moved closer to her, looking carefully at her face. Even without makeup, she was still very beautiful. Her skin fair and smooth, her long eyelashes casting faint shadows on her eyelids. You've crossed the line, Lin Yuxian suddenly said, without even opening her eyes. I thought to myself, since I've already crossed the line anyway, might as well go a little further. So I slowly lowered my head and gently kissed her. Her body trembled slightly, her heart pounding violently in her chest. No, Lin Yuan, blushing, pushed me away forcefully, then turned around, her back facing me. I didn't give up. Just like that, I moved closer, gently put my arms around her waist from behind, and slowly pulled her into my embrace. After that, I didn't make any other moves, just held her quietly. To my surprise, she didn't resist this time, just lay quietly in my arms. We both fell silent. Only the sound of our breathing echoed in the room. When I woke up in the morning, Lin Yuxian was already gone from the bed beside me. I could just hear the faint sound of conversation coming from the living room. I shuffled over in my slippers, only to see Lin Yuxian sitting at the dining table with my mom, chatting and laughing while eating breakfast. Apparently, my mom was quite pleased with Lin Yuxian. My mom left after breakfast. I hadn't even finished the dishes when I got her call, saying she'd bumped into someone downstairs, and telling me to hurry over. Lin Yuxian and I hurried downstairs, and saw my mom arguing heatedly with a middle-aged woman. Taking a closer look, Lin's mom, upon recognizing each other's identities, the two mothers' attitudes changed instantly. One moment they were at daggers drawn, the next they were practically arm in arm, ignoring Lin Yuxian and me. The two of them headed upstairs talking and laughing. I was about to follow when Lin Yuxian grabbed me. They'll definitely talk about marriage. What do we do if our cover is blown? I looked at her anxious eyes. My own eyes shifted, and an idea came to mind. Do we even have a cover to be blown? Luckily, both sides were quite restrained. They chatted about everything except marriage, causing us needless alarm. However, the next problem was that my mom had left, and Lin's mom was now staying over. So we naturally ended up sharing the same bed again. When will this ever end? Lin Yuxian stared blankly at the ceiling. Tomorrow. Try to subtly ask her. Things will be better once your mom leaves. The next day, she was even more dejected. She told me dispiritedly, my mom said she'll decide when to leave, based on her mood. Her staying over was a minor issue. The real problem was facing a beautiful woman every day. Wasn't that testing a person's limits? I'm no cadre with iron self-control. How could I withstand such a test? If I lost my reason one day, it wouldn't just be a total loss. I wouldn't know where to live, and I might not even keep my job. No, this wouldn't do. I had to think of a solution. A colleague reminded me that the travel fund I'd won from the escape room was about to expire, and would be forfeited if I didn't use it soon. Travel. Suddenly my eyes lit up. I had a plan. Keeping it secret from Lin Yuxian and Mom Lin, I drove them both back to my hometown, under the guise of trip. Stepping out of the car, I took a deep breath, relishing it. Beautiful mountains and clear waters, rich culture, bird song and fragrant flowers. Doesn't it feel like Shangri-La? Lin Yuxian was just about to scowl and snap back at me, but then she saw my mom coming out to greet us. Son, you brought Xin back. Turning her head, she saw Mom Lin, and her face instantly beamed. Sister, you're here too. Quick, come inside and sit down. Only then did Lin Yozhen realize I had tricked her. As my mom pulled her along, she didn't forget to turn back and glare at me. The threat obvious. Using the excuse of needing the restroom, she pulled me aside. I'll give you one chance, explain. I immediately put on a pained expression, my eyes slightly red, my voice choked. Actually, my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. But she doesn't know. As a filial son, of course, I have to fulfill her wish. What? Before Lin Yuxian could finish speaking, my mom waved at her from a few meters away. Xiao Xian, come over here. As she walked over, she heard her mom saying. These two never seemed to feel any urgency. My mom took Lin Yueshan's hand, looking at her expectantly. When are you two planning to get married? Lin Yueshan hesitated, figuring out what to say. Well, about getting married. Seeing Lin Yueshan try and stall, I quickly coughed loudly and shot her a meaningful look, emphasizing her wish. Her wish. Lin Yueshan looked at me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, grinding her teeth. So, when are we getting married then? I declared forcefully. In the next couple of days. Then, I turned to Mom. Auntie, would it be all right if Xin Xin and I went ahead and register our marriage first? Yes, Mom. Lin's eyes filled with joy and anticipation, wishing we could go do it immediately. Everyone present was delighted except for Lin Yuxian, who forced a hollow laugh. Her eyes complex. At dinner, Lin Yuxian tried to refuse alcohol, citing driving as her reason. But she couldn't withstand my parents' warm urging. Lin's mom chimed in as well. Go ahead and drink. I'll drive back later. Lin Yozhen couldn't hold out any longer and had no choice but to raise her glass and drain it in one gulp. The next second, Lin's mom took a big gulp too. Just great. Now I was the only one left who could drive back. Lin Yozhen shot me a pleading look. Please don't drink. I raised my glass. She reached out to stop me, but when she saw me drink it down, she stomped her foot in frustration. Lin Yueshan glanced around at everyone, covered her face, and gave a resigned smile. But somehow I detected a hint of relief in her eyes. Unsurprisingly, there was only one guest room left at my house, and it was meant for the two of us. Staring at the only bed in the room, Lin Yozhen shot me a sideways glance. This is your home turf. We'll draw the line. 40/60th today. You get 40. I get 60. No sooner had the words left her mouth and my mom came in carrying drinks. Xiao Xian, have something to drink. Then, she handed me the glass of warm water with goji berries. She held in her other hand. You drink this. Once we took the glasses, my mom tactfully excused herself. As she closed the door, she added, this room has good soundproofing. Get to sleep early, now get some sleep. With the click of the door, the room plunged into darkness. As she switched off the lights on her way out, startled by the sudden darkness, Lin Yozhen leaped back about a meter and flicked the light switch back on. In a flash, she opened her mouth to speak, but stopped when she saw me drain the glass of goji berry water. Swallowing her words, she tiptoed cautiously to the edge of the bed, smoothing her hair and forcing a smile. Given special circumstances today, 50/50 that's the absolute maximum. Having said that, seizing a moment when I wasn't looking, she scrambled onto the bed with a whoosh, pulled the covers up, and wrapped herself tightly like a burrito. Watching her antics, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Been watching too many strange videos, haven't you? I teased. It's just goji berry water, not some kind of aphrodisiac. The next day, following custom, I took her to visit relatives. First stop was my grandmother's house. Grandma, we're here to see you. This is my girlfriend Lin Yozhen. She'll be your granddaughter-in-law someday. A brilliant smile instantly bloomed on Grandma's face, her eyes crinkling into slits. She pulled Lin Yozhen down to sit, fussing over her, while bringing out all sorts of treats from inside. This is red rice cake, I ferment it myself. This is malt candy Ho Liang's second aunt made. It's really sweet. Eat up, eat more. If it's not enough, Grandma has more here. Lin Yueshan chatted happily with Grandma the whole time, laughing and talking, showing no trace of impatience or displeasure. As we were leaving, Grandma came out with a thick wad of cash before Grandma even reached her. Lin Yuxian quickly waved her hands. No, I can't take this. Grandma, please put it back. But Grandma insisted. Take it. The two went back and forth, pushing and yielding like a Tai Chi match. Seeing she couldn't give it directly, Grandma placed the money in my hand. You hold it for her. All right then, I said. I immediately stuffed the money into Lin Yuehuan's hand. then turned back. Grandma, we're heading off now. Stay a little longer. We can't. We still have several other families to visit. After saying goodbye to Grandma, we repeated the process, visiting second grandma, eldest aunt, youngest uncle, and relatives on my mother's side. On the way home, Lin Yuxian held a stack of cash, her eyes shining. She bounced it in her hand, occasionally holding it up to the sunlight, looking as adorable as a little girl. I've never seen so much cash in my life. Are your relatives always this generous? I decided to tease her. Yeah, we have a tradition in our family. Giving money means they've accepted the person. It means I have to marry this girl. Hearing this, Lin Yashin reacted as if she'd been burned. What? Then I can't take this. Too late. Taking it means you agree to marry me. What? No way, no way. It's way too early for that, she exclaimed, trying to stuff the money into my pocket. As she leaned closer, the faint scent of her hair drifted up to me. My heart skipped a beat. I suddenly wrapped an arm around her waist, tilted her chin up, making her look at me. Our eyes met. It was the perfect moment. I spoke softly. Are you saying you don't want to be my girlfriend? Or you don't want the money? Lin Yashin turned her head away, her gaze shifting nervously, her face flushing bright red. I gently took her chin, turning her face back to mine. In a tone that allowed no argument, I said then, you're mine now. Back home, the two moms were talking about the bride price. Sister, what do you think? How much should we prepare for the bride price? Lin's mom waved her hand generously. Don't you worry about it. I've prepared 2,000. Hearing this, my mom immediately, not to be outdone, sat up straighter. Then I'll prepare at least an apartment plus 300,000. Whoa, they sure talk big. Lin Yuxian and I exchanged a glance. We carried our small stools over to sit nearby and started cracking melon seeds. Listening to them, we made quiet comments. My mom hid this from me for over 20 years. I didn't even know my family had this much money. Lin Yashin nodded gently too. I also didn't expect my mom would splurge like this. How worried must she be that I won't find a husband? Lin's mom upped the ante, then we'll cover the renovations. My mom quickly followed suit. The gold jewelry. As long as Lin Yuxian likes it, she can pick whatever she wants. Lin's mom slapped her thigh, as if struck by a sudden idea. Then we'll throw in a car as well. I quickly interjected. Auntie, we don't need a car. Shin is one. Let's keep things simple. Yes, keep things simple. Lin Yuxian quickly chimed in. Yes, Andy, we don't need all that. But then the two suddenly formed a united front, saying in unison, adults are talking, children shouldn't interrupt. We looked at each other, seeing the resignation and the hint of laughter in each other's eyes. The day after we returned from our hometown, Lin Yuxian left saying she needed to prepare for our wedding. After seeing Lin Yuxian off, Lin Yuxian suddenly ran back to her room. I didn't know what she was up to. She wouldn't open the door when I knocked, just saying she needed a moment to compose herself. Could it be she was having second thoughts? When I brought the food to the table, Lin Yuxian finally came out hesitantly, carrying a file folder in her hand. I was a bit curious. What is it? She sat down beside me and took out the items inside one by one. This is the property deed. There's only 100,000 left to pay off on the loan. These are my savings and my salary card. Everything is here. These are the insurance policies and investments. I bought this as the physical gold I bought. I'm not good at math. You manage my finances for me. She looked at me, her eyes sparkling. I've thought about it. Since I love you, I'm committing to it, holding nothing back. I trust you. You won't let me down. Having said that, she nestled into my arms. It's usually the husband who hands over his finances to his wife. Isn't this the reverse? Besides the fact that she could buy so many types of investments, shows she must have done some research. But choosing this way to reassure me, something must be up. I gently lifted her from my embrace, carefully put everything back into the file folder, and then handed it back to her. Trust is mutual. In all my years of working, I've only saved a little over 100,000. If you just ask, it's all yours. She pressed her lips together, her gaze intense yet shy. Her breathing grew heavier. Slowly, she closed her eyes, looking at her beautiful face. I couldn't help but kiss her. Finally, we lay openly in the same bed. Afterwards, I caressed her face, a mischievous grin on mine. Third time's the charm. The ancients didn't like. She immediately blushed crimson, gently hit my chest, and turned her back to me. It said that many couples break up over negotiations regarding the bride price and wedding arrangements. But we had absolutely no such problem, because both sets of parents were very satisfied with us. They agreed to whatever we proposed, big or small. The only variable was that I was headhunted by a new company. Position-wise, we were on equal footing, and my salary would be slightly higher than Lin Yu Chuan's. Every payday, she would indulge in role-playing. School uniforms, black stockings, JK uniforms. She tried them all. Afterwards, she would hand her salary over to me, claiming she wasn't good with managing finances and felt more secure letting me handle it. I suppose this was one of her little quirks. She still woke up very early. Making breakfast for me after a morning run seemed to have become her routine. Then, one day after we got married, I woke up groggily. Lin Yueshan beside me was still sound asleep, a faint sweet smile on her face. I slipped out of bed quietly and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. I planned on making her favorite, fried eggs and sandwiches. Although I almost burned the eggs, I managed to pull it off in the end. I carried the breakfast into the bedroom, set it on the bedside table, and gently woke Lin Yueshan. She sat up bleary-eyed seeing the breakfast. Her face lit up with surprise. "Wow, this looks delicious. You're the best, hubby." Then she lifted it to her nose and sniffed. Smells wonderful." With that, she took a bite. "Wow, hubby, you're a genius." And so, swept away by her compliments, I began to enjoy cooking from that day forward. After work, we'd shop for groceries together. Back home, I'd do the cooking while she did the washing. Sometimes, our hand would accidentally brush against each other, and we'd exchange a smile. After dinner, we'd snuggle on the sofa watching movies. Lin Yuxian would rest in my arms, and I'd hold her gently, feeling her warmth and steady breathing. Sometimes the movie would make us burst out laughing. Other times it would move us to tears. But we knew that this, perhaps, was the beauty of ordinary happiness, a happiness we wanted to cherish until we grew old.